Hi, this is Mary with the earbuds.
And this is Nicole. We are both local Metrowest business owners, avid networkers, and supporters of our local community. My motto has always been shop local, support local, give local.
And we can't really do the physical support and network right now. However, we can do it all the virtual way. And this is what we're doing here today.
So Nicole is the owner of Photo Fabulous You, where she and her team superstars on LinkedIn. Her business is located in Westboro, Mass.
And Mary is located in Hopkinton, and she runs two businesses out of her home. They're social networking businesses, selling businesses. And she basically dresses men. That's one of them. And she also helps people with their hair bows.
Excellent. So we are so excited today to introduce you to Jason Palitsch. Hi, Jason.
Hi.
Hi.
So I don't want to miss anything, so I'm going to read Jason's bio. Jason has served as the Executive Director of the 495 Metrowest Partnership since January 2020. So nothing like jumping right in and jumping right into the mess. Having previously served 6 years as Government Affairs Manager at Veterans Inc., a nonprofit in Worcester, serving veterans and their families across New England. Previously, he had been Communications Director to State Senator Michael O'More in Millbury in the Massachusetts Senate. A Shrewsbury resident, Jason is currently serving on his second term as a member of the school committee in Shrewsbury, and he is also a town meeting member representing Precinct 8. Jason sits on the board of the Shrewsbury Youth and Family Services and Training Resources of America and is a member of the Rotary Club of Shrewsbury. He holds a BA in political science, I knew it had to be in there somewhere, from Northeastern University with a concentration in public policy.
So I'm going to jump right into my questions. And so I'm just like a 495 partnership, Jason. Can you explain a little bit more what it is,
Sure.
Who you serve? And I would love to learn a little bit more about that.
Certainly. So the 495 Metrowest Partnership is a unique public-private collaboration between a lot of different entities that together represent different facets of life in the 495 Metrowest region. So think west to east, Shrewsbury to Natick, north to south, Westford, all the way down to Foxborough, 35 cities and towns. And the partnership referenced in our title is a partnership between local governments, corporations, employers large and small, environmentalists, developers, planners, higher education institutions, chambers of commerce, and various other facets of our civic and economic life here in the region. The partnership brings these elements together to do a number of things, including advocate for the common interests of the region, serve as a convener, bringing different stakeholders together to address complex or long-term problems, as well as an informational resource. We partner with academic institutions such as Framingham State University, the University of Massachusetts' Public Policy Center, and Northeastern University to produce and distribute informational materials of relevance to all of the various stakeholders. So the partnership is really just that. It's a partnership of different entities designed to advance our common interests here in the 495 Metrowest corridor.
Wow. Okay, so that completely makes sense. So you must be super busy dealing with all the changes going on right now. So
I had my 90th day on the job just earlier this week, so it's been a fun learning experience.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, thrown right in. So, let me ask you this: what is the most burning question in all of this? I mean, there's tons of burning questions, but what is the top topic right now?
Sure, it's how different entities can effectively respond to COVID-19, meeting the needs of their communities, their constituents, or their employees, whether it's businesses looking to keep themselves afloat, keep their employees getting paid during this time, looking at how to navigate all the complexities of the various federal and state programs, whether it's local governments trying to keep services up and running with a great deal of uncertainty with needing to keep town halls and city halls closed, also trying to navigate the public policy landscape. So really the top thing right now is how can everybody best navigate COVID-19 in a way that they're providing the services that they want to provide and doing right by their employees, keeping them safe.
Yeah, so let me ask you that as well. So since you're new to this role, where do you think like you will make the most impact? Like where do you want to, where do you see yourself making a mark basically in this role?
Well, the partnership has been around for about 20 years and has always done great work bringing together our different stakeholders. My biggest focus in this role has been outreach. Obviously, I'm relatively new. My predecessor was in the role for about 15 years. And so my number one task since starting at the end of January has been reaching out to all of the various partner elements, members of our large board of directors, leaders in our cities and towns, leaders of our corporations, our major employers, activists on the environmental and water resources front, reaching out to all of those folks to sort of establish my own rapport and relationship with them, but also reaching out to new folks to bring them into the partnership as well. That really has been sort of one of the number one challenges of this COVID-19 situation. I'm a person who loves a face-to-face meeting. I'd like to go visit somebody at their office, learn about their programs, meet somebody for coffee. I think it's the best way to develop a relationship. And obviously, since the end of last month, a lot of that outreach has shifted to electronic means, a lot of phone calls, a lot of Zoom meetings. Not quite as fun for me, but I think that it's something that I'm getting used to. And really, I think everybody is pretty much spending a lot of time in front of the computer screen that they might otherwise be spending in front of another person these days.
True,
yeah, it's funny. It feels like March was like, what are we all doing? And then April was like, okay, this is here to stay. And now we've all been extended through May 18th in Massachusetts. So it's like, okay, this is the new norm. We're all in it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can totally relate. My husband is a selectman in Hopkinton and is on the board of trustees at Framingham State. So some of the same touch points that you're in.
A lot of Zoom meetings.
Exactly. So besides, that change, can you share what has been the most, maybe on the personal side versus the professional, or either way you want to answer, what has been the most challenging part since the pandemic? Obviously, you're new into the role, so you're learning and meeting and everything, but
I would highlight two challenges really since the pandemic started. I mean, the first, again, is just my desire to meet people face to face. It's something that I like to do personally, and trying to make those introductory conversations and trying to do outreach through remote electronic means. Not quite as fun for me, but still, largely successful. Like I said, everybody's adapting. Everybody's learning how to speak into the camera, find the appropriate background at home for a Zoom conference call. But the second thing that I would highlight is, the partnership works on a number of policy areas where all of our different constituent elements, be it employers, local governments, everybody has a common interest. And unfortunately, what we've seen is a lot of those issues take kind of a back seat. Transportation was really a number one focus. Our region has some serious transportation needs. It's certainly the partnership's hope that we're still going to see substantial progress being made on some of those issues this year, including access to the commuter rail, parking issues we're having. But obviously, COVID-19 has, at least in the short term, radically changed almost everybody's work and commuting patterns. It's taken the time, attention, and let's be honest, financial resources of government and public policy actors and focused them on COVID-19. So we're probably not going to see quite the extent of movement on some important issues that we'd like to see. And that's a necessity. We have to deal with, we have to respond to COVID-19, but certainly the partnership is going to do our best to keep our eye on some of those things, make sure we keep the ball moving in the right direction.
And in good circumstances, is this somewhat like a chamber where you have large group meetings all together, or is this pretty much you're just the point person to all the liaisons? How is it normally functioning?
We're different than a chamber in that we're not a membership organization. We're more of a convener. But where to answer your question, so we have different committees that focus on different issues, and we frequently organize in-person gatherings, whether it be briefings on important topics related to water infrastructure issues, energy issues, economic development programs, transportation. We'll invite stakeholders, leaders out to answer questions and have a back and forth with just folks who represent companies and entities who are out our way. And right now, obviously, still trying to do all that work, but shifting all of those to things like Zoom webinars. So certainly, I look forward to the day when we can get a bunch of people together in a room to have a conversation. But right now, we're just going to be convening folks remotely.
Okay, great. And do you have a tip for people stuck at home right now, a sanity saver or something that's kept you going?
I'm more interested in the tips that other people have. I'm kind of looking. I would say sunlight, getting outside, and drinking water. One thing that I know that I tend to do when I'm not at home, I tend to make sure I always carry a water bottle with me, make sure I hydrate. When I'm in the house, I tend to gravitate towards coffee. And I've learned the hard way that I should moderate the caffeine and keep up the water intake.
Wise advice.
If only I could follow it.
Yeah.
I think some people are upping the alcoholic beverages intake as well, right?
That's true too, yeah. So also another personal question. And so Jason, what do you want to do when this is all over? What's your personal wish?
When this is all over, I look forward to going to a restaurant. We have so many great places to eat out in our region, and as somebody who isn't the world's greatest cook, I'm not a bad cook. I just pile the dishes in the sink after, and they stay there for about a week. So I'm somebody who takes advantage of food that's been cooked by others. I look forward to being able to go to a restaurant and have a great meal, maybe a beer or a glass of wine, support a local business, and be able to sit there and I'm doing takeout as often as I can, trying to support local businesses, but there's something about sitting in your sweats on the couch that it doesn't feel the same.
Oh, so true. So true. I'm sure all the restaurants are anxiously awaiting the people to come back as well. Well, we're going to close out here. Thank you so much for joining us today. That was a great lesson for me to learn more about the partnership. And just so everyone knows, Jason's information will be listed below with ways that you can find him. If you would like to support a local business, please share, like, and comment so that we can get this hashtag Support495 out to the world. Check back weekly as we introduce new businesses and listen to their stories and tips. And use our special community hashtag Support495. And if you are interested in getting featured, please reach out to us. So in closing, let's shop local, support local, give local. And in the meantime, stay healthy, strong, sane,
and fabulous.
There we go.